How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Nyanumba Codes channel. Now, I have been ignorant. I know this. I know this for a fact. And the reason why I say this is because there's so many tools that have been coming out in the last 3 months. I've been out of action for the last 3 months. That is something that I can tell you, yes, I have been completely sidelined from the whole development space for matters personal, all right? Some of you may know, some of you may not know, and I'm not going to go into detail. Now I am coming online and I am seeing there's a new IDE in town, and it's something that is, really gotten me on the edge. It's caught me off guard. It's caught me out of, a certain level of understanding. And I've just realized, you know what? There's a high chance that I might migrate into this IDE completely. Ladies and gentlemen, Google Antigravity. I don't know if you guys say anti-gravity or anti-gravity. I don't really care. All I really care about is how this item actually looks. I'm looking at this, all the code that is on this. I'm looking at the various features in terms of the UI that is on this website in particular, and I'm loving it. But that aside, I'm looking at this whole situation and I'm just like, yo, look at what is going on over here. And I just want to play this intro slightly. And if I get annoyed in the first minute, then I think essentially I'm just going to switch it off and then test it out for myself.
Through in model intelligence for coding. Every breakthrough in model intelligence for coding encourages us to rethink what development should look like. Gemini 3 is our latest such model advancement. So, we went out to build the next step change of an IDE. Introducing Google Antigravity, a new way of working for this next era of agentic intelligence. It is the ideal agentic development home base. Does it have an IDE? Yes, but it also has a whole lot more. We started with the core IDE and added pieces that evolve the IDE towards an agent.
Honestly, these guys are lying. They started with Visual Studio Code. I'm so certain they forked that shit. Like, I don't think you can start up an IDE without actually forking VS Code anymore. But, that's just my opinion. Maybe there's something else. There's something more to it. Let's see.
First feature, such as browser use, asynchronous interaction patterns, and an additional novel agent-first product form factor, helping you experience liftoff.
Your new focus is architecting the solution, not implementing every single step. So congratulations, you have been elevated to a manager of agents. Instead of an agent living in your tools are now instruments for many agents.
Okay, that's all I needed to hear, honestly, because I think essentially most of all these IDEs are just they are actually the central focus, and what Google is telling us is that the central focus is actually the background, not the IDE itself. The IDE is just an addition. So anyway, that's all I just needed to hear, and yeah, I think we'll try and do something with this, right? We'll just try and do something with this. Now, another thing that I will say that I've been ignorant about is the fact that Livewire is at version 4. And I think for most of us, it's such a very easy change into the situation. For some others, it may be difficult, and the reason why it may be difficult is because they've been introduced to a certain aspect inside this documentation called single file components. And if you did not explore Livewire to its fullest extent in version 3, then you will definitely be at a point where you don't understand why we have to have single file components in Livewire. I have used Vault in version 3, and that's pretty much what it is. I don't really think there's anything else I can do to go in depth in what it is that this entails. But yeah, essentially this is what we have. So this is the thing. I'm going to use Livewire version 4 and Google Antigravity to create a suggest column for the Nyanumba Codes channel, and I'm going to be doing it live right now. So first things first, I installed Antigravity already, so I'm just going to go ahead and open it. I've not opened it yet, but let's see how we go about various things. So I'm just going to come in here and allow. And I don't know if it has its own agents, like its own full-on models for every single thing. But for the basic, I think essentially because it's free, I will use some of the models. Like, let's just see the pricing actually. So we have the free plan, and it has all the agents, including Sonnet and Opus 4.5. And of course, I can see GPT OSS. I can see Gemini 3 Pro. It's free essentially. So, but I'm sure it's only free for a certain limited amount of users. I can see unlimited tab completions, which is quite nice. I can see unlimited command requests. That is great. But now when we come to the rate limits, there's generous weekly rate limits, which is quite nice as well. So let's see what we can, to what extent can we exhaust this, right? So I'm going to come in here. So it says choose setup flow, start fresh, or import settings from another IDE. I prefer to import from there. Use theme to be imported with settings. That is okay. I saw some introduction, some guy who was installing this thing, and he says personally for him, he prefers light mode. Instantly, you're not a dev. Like, essentially, how can you code in light mode? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, well, that's just an opinion. Please don't take it offensively, but my opinion is we can't work together, man. We can't work together. We can't work on the same laptop. Dark mode it is, but we'll just import whatever its setting is on VS Code. All right, so how do you want to use the anti-gravity agent? So review-driven development, agent-driven development. Most of the time, agent-driven is the way to go. You can see terminal execution policy, always proceed. If we do review-driven, it means that it's going to constantly ask me if I should proceed on with this particular thing. And I'm fast enough to read whatever it is that it's doing to stop it in between. And if I trust the IDE to code the way I normally code my projects, then essentially agent driven is the way to go. So you can see terminal execution always proceed, review policy always proceed, and JavaScript execution policy. JavaScript, we'll review that one next time. That maybe if it goes against what it is that I want, we will see how to go about that. Then the key bindings. So configure key bindings, I think we'll just go normal. I don't like Vim. Then there's extensions. We'll just do the recommended extensions, but we can configure later, I'm sure. Then we just sign in with Google. And that's the beauty about this, is that it's using a Google account for every single thing. So I'm more prone to going into this direction as opposed to going to the direction of VS Code, where I had multiple accounts under one particular email, and then I had to link my Microsoft, my GitHub. And what I didn't understand about that is I thought GitHub and Microsoft coincide, and then I thought like I only have to log in once and that's it for me. I don't mind having to log in all the time into Antigravity because, you know, it's just a one-click thing and all my passkeys are in the system. I don't have any passkeys for my Microsoft, so I think we're at a good point of starting everything. All right, so looks like the IDE is open, and yeah, I think essentially it's also shown that it has a lot of workspaces that are open. It's already imported some of the workspaces. There's some extensions that it is installing, and here is the agent. So the agent is on this side. I can ask it anything and it will proceed. And then we have our Explorer, which is over here. So yeah, I think essentially what we are doing is installing the extensions. And I don't know which extensions in particular it's installing, but as long as it has my Claude code, I am good to go. So I don't know if it's actually going to install Claude Code, but let's see. Oh yeah, so it's recommending Gitlans, which means Gitlans is not being installed. I can see all these other Java languages extensions is being installed. I don't know. I think essentially from the recommended side of things, we are good to go. But let's see. We'll see how to go about this a little bit later, especially for the part for the extensions. Let me just type in Claude Code. So by default, Antigravity uses OpenVSX as a marketplace. This can be changed in Antigravity settings. So I can see, this is the marketplace, right? So open editor settings. Then let's see, application, extensions right here. And then we can see, open VSX, marketplace. No settings for that found. So I'm just going to close this. And but most of what I've seen is mostly VS Code style of looking in terms of placements and everything. But I think it's also because we've gotten used to that essentially as a people. Let's see. Claude Code for VS Code. Here it is. I could install this and just leave it be. Just publish and install, and it will run, and everything will be good. Now I want to run a project. I want to start a project. Like I said, we are building a suggest system for Nyanumba Codes, the Nyanumba Codes channel. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to open Laravel HUD, going to go to sites, and then we're going to add a new Laravel project. Then we're going to open Livewire, and then we're going to call it suggest. And we're going to use Laravel's built-in auth. We're going to use Laravel Vault. We're going to, of course, test the framework with pest, and we're going to initialize our repository. So we're going to start the project from here. So in the meantime, let's just go into the planning for this suggest system. And I always recommend people to start getting into the use of ChatGPT. So here it is. Here's my ChatGPT. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it, I want to put a suggest system on my stevenyanumba.com in a subdomain called suggest. Suggest.steve and then that. So I am building this. Actually, you know what? I could use this. I could use voice, in fact. So let's just put it like this. Then we can say, I am building this in Laravel and Livewire 4, which will enable me to be able to use Tailwind CSS and all the other features like Flux UI that will be required for this suggest system. Please give me a plan and database tables in a list format that would be enabling me to achieve the suggest system that I want to build. Let's see if it is. So I'm building this in the so a suggest system for my Nyanumba Codes channel. Okay, so let's see this. So of course, ChatGPT loves the idea. I mean, whose idea doesn't it love? A public suggestion board for Nyanumba Codes is both a community flywheel and free content research. Very on brand for you. Let's design this cleanly, scalably, and very Livewire 4. I'm taking some coffee with milk. It's unusual for me. And Flux UI native. Okay, so yeah, it actually got the subdomain correctly. A public-facing suggestion platform where viewers suggest video ideas, others upvote and comment. Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. You can triage, plan, record, and publish, and then suggestions turn into content pipelines, not just ideas. And then we have the core features: MVP v2 ready, system architecture, logical flow, database tables. So there's the suggestion categories, votes, comments, status logs, duplicates, users existing. So admins is just me, or optional authenticated contributors, moderators later. And then a status flow is very important. So open, under review, rejected, planned, record, and published. Then there's the Livewire component plan, UI UX notes, admin dashboard, anti-spam strategy. So rate limits guest submissions, of course, yeah, that is the way to go. And then the big picture win and why this is smart. Yeah, excellent. If you want, I can design Livewire 4 components. Just give me the initial prompt for Antigravity AI agent that I will use to start the project and put it on canvas. And just like that, we start projects very easily, actually. So you can see this is the initial prompt. You're an expert senior Laravel architect and product-focused engineer. Your task is to design and scaffold community-powered suggestion systems for a YouTube channel called Nyanumba Codes to be deployed on a subdomain. And the goal of this system is to allow the public. Oh, this is really good. This is all really good. Now, here's the thing. I think essentially, let's see how the anti-gravity agent works, right? So I'm going to close this for now. I remember installing the open with anti-gravity situation. This suggest is already done. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to come in here and I'll refresh this. Open this with the terminal. I don't know if this works. No, it doesn't. So that's something that they need to add, I think. But anyway, I think I'll just go to the path and then I'll right click over here and go to show more options and then open with anti-gravity. I think it should be there. It should be somewhere here. I don't know why it's not. Okay, great. All right, so it's not there. The open with anti-gravity option is not there. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on open a folder and I'm going to look for where HUD is, and then we look for the suggest, which is the one I created just now. As you can see, 2:22 p.m. Select the folder and yes, I trust the authors. Let's see how we go. Okay, so one moment, the agent is currently loading and I'm sure my MCPs are all ready. I can see my mcp.json is right there. Okay, so planning. We're in the planning mode, and then we are Gemini 3 Pro. So this is the high, then there's low, there's flash, there's Claude Sonnet 4.5, there's Sonnet 4.5 thinking. And I think I'll do Sonnet 4.5 because, okay, here's the thing. We can view the, what's this? The usage, I think. Let's see. Great. Okay, great. So let's just try paste this entire thing. So all right, you may begin now. I don't know if I should let Gemini handle this, but you know what, it's just a test trial for everything. I'm just going to test the anti-gravity agent instead of going to have to use Claude Code for everything, and let's see what happens next. So defining a proposal, I'm solidifying, I've got the tech stack nailed down, yada. Okay. So checking dependencies in composer.json, MCP server not found. Okay. So as you can see, the thinking is working things out. It's already discovered that it's using Tailwind version 4, it's using Livewire version 4, Laravel 12, and Livewire Flux, the UI kit. And then it's structuring the plan. Now I'm drafting the implementation plan and a task. So yeah, that's the thought process, and you can definitely monitor the thought process. Now let me zoom in here so that we can be able to see everything. I know there's some people who are not using 1080p screens, so they won't be able to see what it is that I'm doing if I am looking at this from my own perspective. And I need these as well so that I don't see things blurry as much as I usually do. Great. So there's a whole comment on artifacts over here. So I'm not going to use that commenting on artifacts anytime soon. Oh, and yeah, and it runs the terminal commands inside here, which is quite nice. I can see it's doing the DBs. It's already created categories, the suggestions, and the status logs. The status logs are supposed to be attached to the suggestions themselves. I don't know if we're going to use enums or we're going to use strings. Then it's, so agent terminated due to error. You can prompt the model again or start a new conversation if the error persists. So just retry. Okay, it's proceeding on. There's the votes. Great stuff. So it's moving on forward very well. I can definitely see now if I hope the key bindings are the same. If I do Alt Z, yeah. So you can definitely see that it's doing all the logs very well. All right, this feels a lot more comfortable. Now it's doing these items very, very well, and I could go ahead in here, review the changes and accept all. so it's doing everything very, very well, extremely well. I can see all the tables that have been edited. We've created all these, and now this is the task checklist. So now we can review the task checklist, and you can see there's the project scaffolding. There's creating the database schema, eloquent models and relationships, and then it is the core implementations. I don't know if it has created the models together with them. Yes, it should have. So it should create the models and the database schemas. And then after that, after populating the database schemas, we should have all these models being populated with functions that declare the relationships between one another, and so that we can be able to finish this off. And there's more features that I would add. In order to maybe say support the channel, right? You could put like maybe say an upvote to be like on credit or to be using certain credits, right? So somebody comes in, fills up their wallet, and then they'll be able to use those credits or buy credits rather on the site, and then be able to use those credits to do the upvoting and all those different things. But that's something that some of you might want to do for your various projects every now and again. But all in all, this is what we have to deal with. It's just a public interaction base, right? So what I plan on doing is having people to be able to also log in with their own, Google accounts or whatever, and then they'll be able to upvote or whatever, on whatever video that they want to view. So this is essentially what. This is actually a very good implementation, and I think we will move very well with this. So you can see we have the project scaffolding. Then after that, we have the core feature implementation, where we're doing the category seeders and models. We're doing the implementation suggestion models and migrations, the vote system. That's the migrations and the logic for sure. And then there is the implementation status tracking. So of course that is the features inside the system itself. Then we have the UI implementation. So it sets up the main layout with Flux, and then we have the suggestion list. We have the create suggestion form. Then we have the suggestion details. So the create suggestion form, like let's say somebody has a particular suggestion and they want to put it forward. Now the only thing is that I wouldn't want somebody to come in and put up a suggestion that is already there. Okay, so we'll also need to use a little bit of AI to look at the kind of suggestion that is being put up across and see if it is the same as some other suggestion that is being put across by somebody else. Then there's suggestion detail, of course. Then we have the admin dashboard. Now the admin dashboard will be on my side, where I'll be able to check if I'll be able to update people on how far we are going with a particular suggestion that has been made. So that's the admin dashboard. And then there's the verification. So there's manual testing that will be done. That is by me. And then there's final design polishing, which is still going to be done by me. So it looks like it's doing most of the work. It looks like it's doing a lot of the work that we had put across to have it done. This is the implementation plan. It's already created this, and we shall review this in step by step. One thing I got to realize about some of this AI work is that some of this agentic work that is happening behind the scenes that is hosted on systems, it requires a lot of RAM to be able to facilitate everything. Like, look at this. Look at my task manager, for instance. You can definitely see my memory is screaming. Who would have thought 16 GB of RAM would be so little? See that? 91% of my memory being absorbed. I didn't think 16 GB of memory is so small, and I think that is calls for an upgrade. So if you guys see that I am actually pulling off a lot of trials and business deals, that is the life, essentially. I mean, we need to upgrade this setup. We need to upgrade the level of work that we're working on, so that we can produce a lot more tutorials, a lot more stuff, so that we can be able to educate the masses as much as possible, and as well as create foundational opportunities for people who are looking for work. And essentially that is why we are building this, so that we can get more suggestions of what people want to see, what people want to actually actually, take on in terms of projects for personal level, especially in the tech industry and in coding. In the meantime, we can also look at how it's being implemented. So we can actually go to suggest.test, and this is only possible because HUD is running. Okay, so given that HUD is running, so whatever it is that we have as the name of the project itself, which is suggest, that we can just do suggest.test and it should run. Although I don't know why it's not opening up on my side. At least it should. And then I can see the HUD helper Windows service isn't running. Please check the general settings. Something about writing hosts to the admin. I don't know. Then we can restart. So stop all services. There's something up over here. Something is clearly not right with Laravel HUD. Anyway, the code is still working, so I'm sure it will be good. And key binding, the control and the that button at the very top should open a new terminal. Yes. Okay, so I think we will see what's going on, then start all the services. Okay, so now let's see what's going on here. Essentially, as a new Laravel application, it should run regardless of how things are going in the background. Then I'm going to pin this to the taskbar. It looks good. I think I might have this as my default IDE. Let's see where we are with the tasks, the taskmaster. Oh, this is an enum namespace. It's just the implementation plan. Where's the task? Yeah, this is it. So I should put this next to the implementation plans. Great. Agent terminated due to error. We'll just retry that. You can see all the changes that are here, and I'm thinking we might just have to accept all the changes because they're not looking bad. They're looking actually quite nice. I'll accept this change. Name, the slug, the color. You see, like the color for the category. This is quite nice actually. I'll just accept that. Then there's the suggestions table, which takes in the category, the title, the slug, the content. Then there's the status, which by default is under review. Then we have the vote count. So this is a string. It's not so bad. I don't think having a string is all that bad because the enums class is over here. It's actually an enum. It's not even a class. It's an enum, just like a trait. So an enumeration, right? Enumeration. Is that what it is? Anyway, so the suggestions table, accept. I think that change is okay. The votes table, I will accept that change, and this one as well, because we have the suggestion ID and the IP address of this particular user. And also this user is going to log in so that they can be able to give the suggestion, which is quite nice. And then there's the status logs, of course, from what status to what status. This is, I know this suggestion, the status log is from what status to what status. So I think essentially what it's supposed to do is, well, we'll work on that essentially. Then there's the suggestion status, which is an enum. I think essentially that is okay. We don't want to accept all this all at once. And then we have the categories, which has many suggestions. We have the suggestion, which has the enums class, of course. That's for status. That's the cast. This looks very good actually, because now once we have this, then we cannot update the database. So we essentially are not going to have issues with the database. Everything that we're going to have an issue with will be at the models level. That's actually quite smart from this AI. This is quite smart. We have the vote. This is okay because I can see it's done everything that is required to have been done. Yeah, I guess I can accept all these changes. Even the suggestion test. This is a test that has been created. All right, so I'll just accept all these. And yeah, let's see the summary of what it is that it has done. So files edited, there's the dashboard, there's the index, create, suggestion factory, there's a category factory. So it's created factories for like all the seeding to be done. And I'm sure it's already migrated these items into the DB. So if I come in here and just do PAM, it should have migrated everything, yeah. So if I'm going to come in here and check this, we can check this this. Of course, there's a few issues, like with that options thing. I can see Flux styles over here. I don't know why it's just there. But let's see. We're in the homepage. All right, the homepage is here. Let's actually see how it's implemented it in the web routes. So the routes over here. So it's this get with the index class. What I really didn't want is for it to use multiple page component. So I didn't want it to use MFCs, but if we're using MFCs, we'll use MFCs. There's no problem whatsoever. We have dashboard over here, all the categories. We have a submit an idea. What's your idea? Category and all those different things. We have this Flux styles is really bothering me. So where is this? Right. So it's all the way up here, Flux styles. If I decide to comment this out, will there be anything wrong? But I know what the problem is, essentially. It's just that I've just not done the npm run dev. So I think that is one thing we need to always do, so that it compiles. Then after compilation, I think we should be able to see this in dark mode. Or, yeah, this shouldn't. I don't know. I don't understand. Is Flux styles a real thing? Let's see. At Flux script is a thing. And I can see it everywhere here. Flux appearance, Flux styles, Flux everything. Unless it's doing something that it's not supposed to do. Well, so far so good. And what I can just do at this particular point here, let's even try the login. I don't know if it will do what is required. Okay, so this is okay. Yeah, so this is okay. We can just, if you don't have an account, we sign up. We'll put my full name, maybe this with the password. Let's see what happens next. All right, so we have unable to locate class for view. Yeah, this is something to do with using Flux. Was it columns? Yeah, Flux for what? I think this is for a table, right? Should be for a table, yeah. So essentially, Flux columns shouldn't exist because we've not paid for Flux, right? We've not paid for the paid version of Flux. So given that we are not using Flux Pro, please for the Pro components convert to Tailwind. E.g. I don't know if we have Flux card somewhere as well. Yeah, e.g. Flux card. So Flux card and Flux table. And then I think I saw somewhere Flux option. But I think, okay, we'll see. We'll work it out. Okay, you can't prompt the model to try again. Okay, yeah. I don't understand why why this is doing that. Agent terminated due to error. Let's change to Sonnet. So could it be that the limit has been achieved, right? Because I just gave one prompt. It finished everything. We are at the point where we are here, and it's told me that it has completed the suggestion system. Everything is complete, right? So we have completed that. Does that mean that we are at a point where we now just need to brush up, like you can see Flux table and all that? So this is at this point. This is why we use Claude Code, right? And I prefer Claude Code for most things, actually. I'll just move it to secondary sidebar. Okay, now I prefer Claude Code for most things because it's usually a lot more accurate. So let's paste that prompt right here. So given that we're not using Flux Pro, please, for the Pro components, convert to Tailwind, Flux card, Flux table. So it's going to check that for us. Hopefully it's already logged in. Like it's not going to ask me for login details again. But as far as this goes, it looks like this is quite fine. Ooh, internet. Yeah, that's what it is. Internet. That's what it is. Actually, you know what? Stop. Close this. I think I'll just close Claude. Yeah, it's the internet. Who would have thought? They should be giving us about 5 GB of data to compensate for that. They should have awarded it by now. So I'll disconnect this. There we go. Okay, so I'll just ask this agent to do it again to continue from where it stopped. Now let's see what happens. Okay, so it was an internet issue, looks like. So yeah, we'll move on forward quite well. I even got the notification. I don't understand what Safaricom is doing right now. Anyway, let's see what goes on. Oh, we were still trying with Sonnet. No, let me just switch to Gemini. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so it's moving. And as you can see, our git lens is really, look at that. It's looking good. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it's a shame that has happened. Let's just try doing Claude Code again. Okay, so I'll just come in here, paste this there. Let's see what happens. A beauty about Claude Code also is that it's so fast. Like, it understands what it is that we're asking for in such record time. And, you know, I don't really have to do a lot. All I had to do is unplug my my Ethernet cable because I think it was flickering around with this. That's so frustrating. In fact, you know what? Let's try again. Let's try the agent again. Retry. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it was an internet issue all this time. Like, it's got that. So what as it changes this, the dashboard area, like the flux table, is flux column, flux rows, all those things. And you know, the thing about this is it would be so beneficial if we had that bit of flux ready for us. So beneficial, so beneficial. All in all, I think we're in a good place at the moment. I think everything that is here so far, I think it's looking good. So I have updated the views to use standard Tailwind CSS, standard HTML tables. Now on the guest part, right? On the guest part, the arts flux styles text was showing on the page on the browser. For these other items, of course, now this table, you can definitely see the table is there. Of course, it's all said and done. Looks like, yeah, we have the password, we have two-factor authentication. Of course, we have to confirm the password as we enter that section. And we have also appearance. Appearance, maybe dark, light system, right? So all of that is ready and we're able to use all of that. I'm going to go to the home page now, and this should not show. This is something that also shouldn't show. Honestly, like, I don't understand why we have this showing up, this profile showing up, but anyway, it is what it is. We'll just work things out as we move on forward. Let's close all first. Let's accept all the changes. So it's checking flux package source for correct bleed directives. Yeah, allow this conversation. Yeah, it should allow. Yeah, the user reported a flux cells rendering as text. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's precisely what I was just telling this thing. As flux styles is not supposed to be there anymore. Great. So, all right. So that is it. So we have the suggestions, we have the submit idea. What I want to tell this guy is that now for the UI on the guest on the homepage, I don't need it to look like usual flux stroke Laravel. I want a modern suggest page that looks beautiful and very inviting. So I'll tell it to pull up all the fanciest UX UI features that you can think of. Then I'll say EG, and then what I'll do, I will go to ChatGPT and ask it, what are the fanciest UX UI features that I can incorporate into the landing page of this site? Living backlog. Put it on a list for me to tell the agent. So it's still continuing. Okay. This is interesting. And now I've hit the limit. Of course. Great. So I've listed them down. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just trying to, style this so that it doesn't confuse any of these other items like features. So like this one, instant success animation after submission. Then there's, you know what? Let it just do whatever it needs to do. Or I could edit this. Status to video timeline. Real-time voting momentum indicators. Oh, so, yeah, smart duplicate detection while typing. Yes. Then there's the guest contributor identity. No sign up required. Then there's micro leaders. This is so highlight contributors. Then there's scroll-based storytelling sections. Explainer suggestions became videos as user scrolls. Yeah, there's so much in this that it can really stand out. Then there's Flux UI driven visual language. There's performance as UX. There's skeleton loaders instead of spinners. Optimizing UI for voting. Then there's instant visual feedback. Of course, all these things are not implemented all at once, but if we can try and get these things to work, then we've built a full-on application in under an hour. And let's see what happens next. So in the meantime, I know for sure, like you can see this is running in the background. So I'm sure that as these things are updating, we'll be able to see it in real time. So I think I'll even put this aside to be able to see what goes on. So I'm just going to zoom this out for now. Look at that. This is how, look, what? Yeah. So adding modal to guest layout and implementing status to video timeline. So that's a very crucial, very, very, very crucial point of view. So when I come and click on submit an idea, it should use a modal instead. More failed tests, it looks like. Some of these suggestions, an error when enums as array keys in show, and then it's fixing this using the value for the array keys. Okay, all right. I think I know where the error is coming from. No, model quota limit exceeded. No. So it's either you upgrade, right? So I've exceeded the limits, right? You either upgrade or you proceed on to use another model. And I'm the kind to upgrade. I think I want to test it out well beyond what is there. So it's saying no plans available. Sign up for Google AI Ultra for business is not currently allowed via this route. So let's try. So given that the quota is ended, what we're going to try is link it. So given that you have to link it to your, let's go to try Gemini. Then we're going to go to, I don't know. I wasn't paying for Gemini Pro, honestly. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. But I think I was trying to get to Nano Banana when I was trying it out. I think the alternative is to agent execution termination error, advanced AI access, Google AI Ultra for businesses. This is not what I want. So this is it, Google AI Plus, plans and pricing. It's usually 900 shillings a month for the Google AI Plus. So that's what I'm seeing here. Let's go to Antigravity pricing, get plan, choose this. So now we're on Google One. Now we have the AI Pro, then there's AI Ultra. So AI Pro, are we on AI Pro? I don't think we're on AI Pro. If we check our subscriptions, nah. So it's telling me I can resume at 228. 228 on the, that's on the 5th. Is that on the 5th of February? What? That's actually insane. So I think I've exceeded my weekly limit, that's essentially what I've done is I have exceeded the weekly limit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that prompt again in Claude Code. Now that we are here, we've not used Claude Code at all. Like none of those. If I go to usage, none. We've not used anything. Right? Loading usage data, nothing. There's nothing. I'm sure we've not used it. So now that we are here, I think I'll copy that prompt. Let me actually just go back to this agent. I'll copy this prompt and paste it here. Boom. Then we'll close this. Let's see what happens next. Because I can accept all the changes. I mean, I could just proceed on and say accept all and then close this. And then now we see what we're going. So it's going to enter plan mode. hopefully now we are going to be able to finish this off, because we already finished the app. Essentially, we are just now trying to make it a little bit more prettier, a little bit more beautiful in terms of like how the appearance is. And it looks like things are moving very well. Like it's just using all of the code that we have here, and it's now going to make it a little bit more beautiful. So what I've realized is that Claude Code now, it's now trying to keep up with everything that has been done. As you can see, this is now our session, 7% used, and it resets in 4 hours. So that's okay. So now it's trying to keep up with the sessions that we've used in the previous AI model. It's trying to see what else that it can do to make things a little bit better. It's following up with the tests, it's following up with the migrations, following up with everything. And if we were able to continue with the previous model, that would have been the best. But the good thing about what happens here with our Laravel Boost and our MCPs is that it logs all the errors and everything that needs to be done. So now it's actually analyzed everything, and it's analyzed that what is already working is here, and what needs to be implemented is a modern, beautiful UI redesign with the visual effect. So now it's going to read all of those particular levels, and it's going to redesign it for us. This is quite nice. This is actually moving quite well. And now it's actually checked now the MCPs for Laravel Boost. It's actually checked everything there. Okay, so now it's given us assurance that it has a comprehensive understanding of the code base and a detailed implementation design. So now it's going to create a final implementation plan. I'm sure it's going to create an MD file right about now. And then from there, we now move on forward. Now, I know some of you are wondering, I thought you were just testing out anti-gravity. And essentially, I said I was going to test it out, but at the same time, I wasn't going to make a video based off of just testing it out and then I just leave it there. I was going to build a full-on application with it. And now that apps are usually created in less than 3 hours, I was just figuring to myself, why not use this to my advantage? I've been saying that I want to create a suggest module for the channel. And here we are creating one so that we can be able to take on all the requests and all the perfect modules that should be enabled for this. And ideally, this is perfect timing. Of course, there's some certain improvements that will be made towards this. I mean, there's a perfect plan for everything, right? There's a perfect plan for everything. We are at a point where, all these different things, especially the teaching modules, are enhanced using AI, and we don't really need to sit down and waste any time thinking about the planning when this can already do for us the planning at a very accelerated pace. So now you can see this is where we are at right now. It's asking us about the visual style, and then you can see there's a glass morphism, so frosted glass, blur effects recommended, which is my preferred style. There's playful and animated, which doesn't look serious as such, and then there's animation. How intense should the animations be? There's subtle and professional, bold and noticeable, eye-catching animations, prominent transitions, makes the interface feel very alive. Then there's minimal, only essential animations, focus on speed and simplicity. There's general transitions, purposeful animations, polished without being distracted. I think this is the way to go. And then we should keep the current dark indigo purple color scheme to introduce new colors. I think we can do, so this is what's recommended, indigo purple, but I think we can do a complete redesign, so a fresh color palette. Suggest your preferred colors in the next step. So that's what I'll do. And then I think I will do this shade of blue. This is cyan. And then we'll do what else? Cyan and the gold. So I think I'll just do cyan and ocean blues. No, I think other, and then I'll do cyan and gold. So I'll say cyan to almost green and gold glow. Actually, no, let's just leave it at cyan and gold, and the gold that complements. I'll submit that. I've always wanted to do cyan and gold. Cyan and gold is a stunning, luxurious combination, very modern and inviting. Let me update the plan with these design decisions, and then we edit, right? So it's now doing the plans inside our Claude file over here, and we should be able to see it in some time. Yes. So let's see what happens next. So it's doing the planning for the UI features, and then from that point onwards, we changed this whole blue and indigo and purple situation that we have over here. So instead of having indigo and purple, we'll have cyan and gold. And as we're doing this, we can definitely see what the usage of Claude Code is. It's at 18%. So we've only used, for this particular session, we've used up to what? We've used 18% for this session of the UI. At the end of it, we'll see how far next we will go. We've built the entire app using Gemini 3 Pro, and it's the entire weekly session for free, the free weekly session. I've selected manually approve, my goodness. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Anyway, so we've built the full-on app using the full weekly session for a free version of Antigravity. The app is running, it's up and running. So even if I come in here, I want to submit the idea. So I'll come in here, what's the idea? I'll put that. Series ideas, this is a project request, and the description is there. I'll submit the suggestion. That is the success animation. Then we move back to the suggestions. This is the idea itself. It's under review, but now when it's under review, no one can upvote this, right? So now when we come in here into the dashboard, which is where I've logged in, right? I can do planned, right? And then, I think that should be that, right? So that should be that. And there's some people who can come in here and proceed on to upvote, right? So they can come in here, they view this, they come and vote. Given that I've voted, it should be in my sessions in my browser. So that's guest session voting, and that's already there. So that's people voting. So now that's back to, when we go back to the suggestions, we'll be able to see where we are with this. With these colors, I'm sure they've added the cyan, they've added the amber, the slate. This is good. This is actually quite nice, yeah. Now let me add the glassmorphism utility classes at the end of the file. Let's see what glassmorphism is going to. Hold on. There's something that it's said over here. I say using Tailwind CSS4. There's no Tailwind config.js. Yes. Let's move. Then add a database index for momentum queries. That's the vote table. So that is the momentum index, yes, to the votes table. So it's going to add that as a DB, this one here, and then it's going to edit that, of course. Great. And I'm sure it's going to use the votes momentum. It can also plot a graph for me as an admin in the dash, so that I can be able to see what's going on in that particular situation. But something that's really bugging me is that in this particular application, okay, it's going to do something different. In this particular application, I would imagine that there are going to be two kinds of users. There's me as the admin, so there's going to be a separate admin section. And then there's the users who can log in and be able to voice their opinion. So they can even comment on this particular suggestions if they want to comment. And for those who can't comment, they can just still upvote. But then the votes, there'll be votes as guests, and then there'll be votes as people who, actually voted. I think votes should be something that only people who have logged in can do. But it looks good. It looks very good. It's more or less like a mini social media. If you looked at Instagram back in the times when it was created, this is essentially it. People could just share photos, and then there's and there's no commenting, there's nothing. Comments came in later. All those different things came in later. Now it started looking like a mini Facebook for photos. This is essentially what it is with the Suggest app, and it's built it in under an hour. So this is how we're looking towards everything. So one thing that this should teach you is that, yes, Antigravity is currently, for me, one of the best coding editors, the best IDEs, if not the best. And two, you still do need to pay for the AI. I think essentially once we finish building this, I'll show you how I get to deploy it once we are done with the whole styling situation. It's moving well. Like you can see, we are having our styling done. It looks good. It looks very good. Submit an idea is a modal. This is good, but it also has a page. So I think essentially submit an idea should just be this. And then what's your idea? So when I type my idea here, I should be able to get a suggestion. So I come and do that. Title field is required. So I come in here and do, you can see this, right? Similar ideas found. That is it. Then I can say view and vote, which is quite nice. It's closing because it's refreshing from this. There are so many edits that are coming in, which is quite nice. Another thing that I would probably want to implement also is, live updates of, like view updates of, when people are upvoting. So when people upvote, you can definitely see the number moving up, and that can only be possible using WebSockets. That's a new feature that will add, progressively. But yeah, I will put this up for you guys who want to use this. I'll put it up on Gumroad. I don't believe putting things on GitHub I don't believe in putting things on GitHub for free anymore. Like I've always been told, if you're good at something, never do it for free. Right now, I'm good at prompting. I'm good at looking at AI. I'm good at looking at code and visualizing all these different things. Let's put it on Gumroad. Let's see how we can get this. And then also at the end of the day, we'll proceed on to support the channel as well. So far, so good. It's looking good. Let me completely redesign the show view with the vertical timeline and glass morphism. So this is essentially what they want to edit. Let's see what happens next. There's something that's happening here with the tests. There's a failed test somewhere. Okay. Oh yeah, we didn't update this. I think this is a test that stopped in the other one. But you can see, yeah. Let's now run the test again. And I think it struggled to fix this test. It really did struggle. And Claude Code has come in and done it very quickly. But it also probably depends on the model that I used. I think that's what was different. I was using Gemini 3 Pro. Now we are at a point where we are at Claude Sonnet 4.5. Yeah, that should work. Yeah. So Vite is already running. Now let's see what happens here. We could reload King. So it's saying internal server error, cannot apply a known utility class card hover lift. So that is Vite error. So given that everything is done, this is the only error that we need to resolve. Custom CSS classes aren't being recognized properly. Let me fix this by wrapping them in the correct Tailwind layer. Okay. I know it will say that should work, right? So let's refresh this. Actually, you know what? Let me cancel this. I should have let it run the build. It seems like I should have let it run the build. It's just that Vito's already running, right? But yeah, let's see. So now build to see if there is any error. Okay, so let's run this again. Okay, should be running now. Cannot apply a known utility class card hover lift. There's something up with this, I think, and we can't really pinpoint where it is. Yeah, the issue that is using apply with another component class which does not work in Tailwind CSS4. Okay, yeah. That's okay. But this should work. This should have worked. The only thing is, I know it works with the SAS. I don't think it should have worked with the normal CSS. Okay, let's see. Great. Oh yeah. So this is the glass morphism thing that we were looking at. And if we go to the submit idea page, should okay, let's click on this. We see, yeah, this is it. This is what I was talking about. So now that the model for sharing the idea is there need for the submit page that is on a different route, and is there also any need for the nav bar? So, and in a case where, and even if the nav bar is needed, can it be redesigned to match the UI standard? Hit enter. Let me check the usage. Actually, yeah, we're at 39%. We're looking good. So by the time my dial for the recording hits 2 hours, I stop the video. Yeah. So this is what's going to do. It's going to remove the redundant submit thing, and then it's also going to redesign the navigation bar. This is great. So it's going to remove all the Flux UI components. Now let me remove the redundant suggest route since we're using the modal. That's great. In fact, if it knows any better, it should remove like the entire navigation bar. This is good. This is good. This is very good. I don't know. Is there glassmorphism applied on this card as well? I'm not sure. This one here, because you see we are in light mode over here. Okay, let me see. Could we have a dark mode and a dark mode variation for the entire page? Oh, okay. So looks like we have it applied, huh? Great stuff. And now it's going to add a switcher for us as well, but it has to compact this. Okay, 10 minutes to go. Looks like we're moving in good time. The fact that I built this in under, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how long I took to build this, honestly. But using AI in under the specified time that is on it, this is actually impressive. So it's going to compact this and then add another switcher. Okay, so I'll complete the dark mode implementation by adding a beautiful glassmorphism toggle button to the nav bar. Great. Should add that to the navigation bar. There we go. So we have that. Would you look at that? Like this is... But then now if we go to the dashboard, it will still be in dark mode. Yes, excellent stuff. But yeah, I think that's the way to go. It's the way to go, right? So, and then the next thing is, yeah, I think we're good. We're good to go. New idea works. Submit an idea works. These two are calling the same modal. This is dark mode. Everything is working. I've submitted an idea. It works. If I go to the dashboard, I'll be able to see that this is the dashboard. Now, the thing about this is I want to separate concerns. I want to separate users, the actual users, from the... So actual users from the, the admin, right? So that is the next step that I'd wish to go ahead and incorporate into this. Like so far, so good. The users cannot really... Like... What's happening here is that this user cannot delete anything once you've registered into all those things. They can also delete themselves, like they can also delete their own account, right? But now I want a dashboard for the essentially managing all the suggestions. Of course, this is the YouTube video URL that I can put up online. I can put under review planned, all those different things. But essentially, this user shouldn't be able to do that. They should just be able to check out their the session, the suggestions that they've been able to approve of. And this is usually updated live, right? So if we go back to the main page, it's still under review, right? So that's essentially that. And for those who are coming in here, you can definitely see that the project requests are under review. They're voted. This one, whoever it is that's voted is voted. Then so it's under review, there's planned, there's recorded, there's published live on YouTube. And once it's live on YouTube, there has to be a link that is supplied for this. And then again, from wherever you are, you can submit a new idea, whatever it is that you want. Then, of course, logging out is logging out. Yeah, but that's it. I think we're in a good place so far. And I think we will push on forward with everything that is over here. Now, as for Git, the easiest thing that I usually do for Git, let me just close all this. For Git, it's very easy, yeah? Instead of going to the terminal and doing git add all git whatever, I just come in here into source control. All right, I come in here, add stage all changes, right? So there's an invalid path that is over here which I have to delete, so I know this one is the one. I'll come in here and delete this permanently. Then I'll go back to source control and then version control. I'll stage all the changes. I'll generate a commit message, so it analyzes all of these in a split second and then gives me a message of what it is that I've done with all of this. So it uses a thinking model also all the same. And it's probably an inbuilt model for the source control. It's either GitHub Copilot, or it's using Gemini 3 or whatever it is that it will want to use. But all the settings are in. And Yeah, once it has the message, or I could have just typed the message myself, which is not even really a big deal. But I could tap the message myself. Everything is ready. Everything is running. So you can see implement a comprehensive suggestion management system, including models, migrations, Livewire components, views, and extensive feature tests for suggestions, authentication, and the admin dashboard. I commit this change, and then I can publish the branch. So now on publishing the branch, what I could do here, is I could now change the name of the branch, right? So essentially, what's this? So I could change the name of the branch. Instead of doing main, I could do master, but I think main is the one that is usually used. If I hit on publish branch, I can allow GitHub. I can copy and continue to GitHub. I can sign in and enter the code displayed in the app. I copied it and did that. Then I want to grant it organizational access. So I want to even grant it to Vapor Solutions. And this is, I can use my passkey. I can use two-factor. I know I have two-factor somewhere here. I have my two-factor authenticator, so I'll just use that instead. All right, so I've granted it the permission there for the Vapor Solutions and also for Nyanumba codes. And then I can just click on authorize Google Antigravity. Congratulations, you're all set. Now, once we go back to Antigravity, we can publish to a private repository. And I've published it to Steve Nyanumba /suggest as a private repository. So if I open this on GitHub, I'll be able to see that it's all here. So now here's the thing. What I can do essentially at the very end, okay, is I can use Gemini 3 Flash, and then I can tell it to add a readme.md for this project. I don't have to think twice. It's going to generate it, and I just have to give it time. It's crafting the README, and great. So it's done everything. I just need to accept all the changes. It's updating the documentation. It's just finished the readme.md. I can close all the files. Let it just confirm to me that it's finished. And once I've done that, I can just come in here and, just add the changes or stage the changes, and then generate, and then commit and sync the changes. And once we've done that, you can definitely see that our readme.md now starts reflecting on this system. Great, ladies and gentlemen, 30 seconds to go. We are done. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys also were able to get along with everything that we've done over here. This has been Steve Nyanumba with Nyanumba Codes. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, we'll tune in with another video. That will be all for today. Please do indeed take care, and God bless.